Alrighty, good evening. Let me just adjust myself. Tanya, are you in?
I am, yes, for now.
Okay.
Big storm.
Big storm, yes.
Big
So
storm.
Tanya
The
has a
danger,
storm coming in.
the
I
danger of living on the coast in the south.
Yep, and I am up in the cabin where our our Wi-Fi signal is not as strong as in Boston. So if there's some tech issues, there are some tech issues.
Y'all, I can't even see the house across the street from me. That's how hard it's raining. So, yeah.
Excellent. Tracy, welcome. You're from New York. Which part of New York?
How are you seeing that? Oh, there we go.
She is in our chat.
I found it. I found it. I haven't gotten everything situated.
And we're just kind of waiting. Let me just make sure.
We'll strategically give people just a few minutes to pop on.
Yeah.
Um, it seems like, is it Mercury in retrograde right now or what's going
Yeah,
on?
it is.
Because tech has not worked at all for me today. So who's here tonight? Because something just has to change. Okay, I saw a hand pop up and it popped up and it went away. A little bit of housekeeping as we get started. It would really be great if you guys could respond in the chat. There is a Q&A option. Please don't use that. It's just too much to try to track. So if you would keep your communications with us in the chat, we would greatly appreciate that. Okay? So I asked, and I saw a hand pop up, but I don't know who it was. Who's here tonight? Because something just has got to give. Something has to change. Maybe you're kind of like at wit's end. We meet a lot of people when they're wondering if they need to keep trying to do this because it's just not proving financially fruitful. Anyone here in that boat right now?
Or just feeling stuck. So if you
Yeah.
could write in the chat box, stuck, that will help us and participate.
All right. So here's the truth. If you guys don't participate, we're going to talk at you instead of talk with you. And I really don't enjoy talking at people. But we'll get this show on the road and hopefully you guys will chime in there with some questions and commentary and we can make this a conversation instead of a lecture because I don't really like lecturing people. Okay. So we humbly ask that you participate and make this night much more fun. We had a really great group. Was it 3, 4 weeks ago the last time we did this, men?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, Very participating group. It was very fun. I really enjoyed that one. So anyway, men, you want to throw up a slide deck?
Yep. The slide deck is up.
Oh,
So
I'm not seeing it.
are you not seeing it?
Is anybody seeing it?
I'm gonna probably, oh, here's their video. Okay. Here's again. I'm gonna put it up. Oh, no. Hold on. Okay. Share. All righty. There you go.
Third time the charm. Yay. So tonight, we want to talk about something that, a lot of people in our profession won't talk about because it's uncomfortable, it's overdue, and y'all, it is absolutely necessary because the truth is acupuncturists are being set up to fail. And unless we start naming that reality and doing something about it, we're just going to keep watching good, smart, soulful practitioners quietly disappear. And that's sad. Um, so tonight, we're not going to sugarcoat this. We're never good at sugarcoating, to be honest. We're not going to wrap this in spiritual language or pretend that the struggle is part of the journey. This isn't about mindset. It's about a broken system and brave people stuck inside of it. And we're not here to scare you. We're here to free you with the truth and with clarity and with a path forward. So no sugarcoating, okay? Um, man, what's the next slide there? So this quote here, opportunities for acupuncturists to participate in the healthcare system the same way other providers do are limited. This quote was written in 2003. That is over 20 years ago. And y'all, it could have been written yesterday, and that's the first big red flag, right? If this was a temporary problem, we would have made progress by now, but we haven't. We've built beautiful schools over the last few decades, and now they're closing at an alarming rate. We've graduated brilliant doctors. We've created a tidal wave of new licensees, but the more traditional job opportunities where you go out, you graduate, you go out, you get hired, and you make a living wage, those are still very limited. Those are still very uncertain. Those are still behind the times. And y'all, as much as people hate to hear it, the fact is the only real opportunity by and large is self-employment, i.e., entrepreneurship. We pulled some stats. Actually, Rebecca, one of our teammates, pulled these stats from our, our Bible, Acupuncture Today, our main professional newspaper. In that, time and time again, over the course of the years, it has stated that 43% of acupuncture graduates, y'all, that's almost half, can't generate full-time work. 38% earn less than $35,000 a year. Y'all, that's poverty level for a family of three. And 60% of licensed acupuncturists, more than half of us, are not making a livable wage. And 3 years after graduating, almost three-quarters of us have failed. Let that sink in. You can go to school, you can put in all the work, all the blood, all the sweat, all the tears, pour your heart into it, pass your boards, rack up multiple six figures in student loan debt, and still have no viable way to support yourself until or unless you learn to run a business, a real business. Um, man, you're just gonna have to kind of pop through the slides and I'll just keep talking. So,
Yep.
yeah, we're sending bright, purpose-driven people like yourselves. We're sending healers into an abyss. We're sending them out into the world with all of the credentials, all of the training, all of the heart, big hearts, and absolutely none of the infrastructure. Um, you know, our graduates, us, we have the skill. Acupuncturists definitely have the skill. You graduate knowing what to do. You have the heart, but what you don't have is a system that allows you to thrive. We're sending new grads and even old grads that have hung on for a while. You're walking into invisible walls and you're drowning. And we're all pretending it's just part of the process. It's not. It really is not. Um, So it's really tempting to blame the schools, and that's what we hear all the time on social media world. Why didn't they prepare us better? Right? But here's the truth. Y'all, it wasn't their job to teach you how to build a business or how to build a brand. According to our powers that be, the ACCAOM, the accrediting body that dictates what a school actually has to teach you, it specifies in there that it has to give you a 3-hour business course, and that is all, because that body does not see that as crucial to the practice of this medicine. And they give you, if you graduated from an accredited institution, they gave you exactly what they had to give you, and that was it. It was not their job to teach us how to build a business or a brand, or how to structure a high performance clinic, or how to close a consultation with confidence, or how to figure out a plan of care and explain it in a way that the patient would understand, or how to bill insurance, or how to explain insurance codes at the front desk, or how to even answer the phone. Um, their job was to teach you how to be the doctor. Y'all, they did that. They did that. You went to school, you learned, you studied, you did student clinic, you got out, you studied, you sat for your boards, you passed them. They did their job. The problem is they taught you how to be a practitioner in a world that doesn't really exist. Meaning they taught you how to do this in a world where there are no, there's a very, very, very scarce amount of readily available job opportunities. And we are here to teach you how to use those amazing skills and your big, big, beautiful heart, and to take this powerful medicine and actually do what you probably initially went to school for, to get out of school and change people's lives. And how do we do this? Because we teach you how to create your own business. It is both that simple and that complex. You've got to learn to run a business. Um, I mean, just to keep going, there are not enough hospital jobs to go around. There are very, very few salaried roles. Y'all, there's no government-backed pipeline. Let me be extremely clear here, and this might be a controversial statement, but I 150% stand behind it. Medicare inclusion is not our savior. It is actually a noose that we are trying as a collective to put around our necks. Fun fact here, last time I checked the registration for the upcoming shift, it was 51% MDs, 49% acupuncturists, because medical doctors are running far and fast from the insurance model because it is not sustainable and they absolutely hate it. And yet, here we are trying our best to be included in a broken system. But I digress. This is not about Medicare, and I do stand behind everything I just said there. So unless you want to rent a room in a chiropractor's office or hustle for tips in a spa, you're really left with one option. You have to learn to build your own clinic, which means you don't get to simply be the healer. You actually have to be the CEO as well. Sorry, guys. Um, as I said before, it is incredibly tempting to blame the schools. Why didn't they prepare us better? They did their job. They did their job as per the mandate set forth by our credentialing bodies so that we could then get out and sit for the board exams. They did their job. Okay. Um, so you were trained to diagnose, you were trained to listen deeply, you were trained to match patterns, you were trained to offer compassionate care, you were trained to actually listen to your patients. They taught you all of this, but no one taught you how to price your services without shame, to speak about your work and your prices without sounding apologetic, to set boundaries around your time. to build systems that actually make your business run. You were handed a license and told, go figure it out. And y'all, that's not fair. That's not fair. Men, I think you need to go a little bit. I talked about that already. Let's do the next one. I kind of talked about that already too. Um, but I do want to step in here and say, worse than just being handed a license and told to go figure it out. I think at some point in time, from all the stories that we've heard, many of us were handed stories about money and leadership that actively hold us back. We were taught to heal, not to sell. We were taught to hold space versus charging our worth. We were taught to be humble, not to be visible. We were taught to be of service, but to never ask for anything. Uh, we were taught that is not spiritual and that ambition is not aligned with a healing profession. And maybe that marketing is manipulative and that charging more is somehow not compassionate. But I want to ask you something. So you have to be the business owner, right? Um, whether you like it or not, 95, 98% of us out there have to be the business owner. Um, and you didn't train for this. You probably didn't even want this. I don't think many of us went to school saying, hey, gonna go to school, gonna get out, gonna start my own business. Uh, so you didn't train for it, you probably don't even want it. But if you want to practice acupuncture in America today or in Canada today, North America, maybe I should say it that way, you really do 9.5 times out of 10 have to be a business owner as well, which means you're now also the CEO. You're the marketing manager. You're the salesperson. Yes, if your hiney hole kind of puckers when I say that, get over it because everything in this world is sales. And if you do not close the sale and get that patient to start care, you are not going to be able to help them. So you have to be the CEO, you have to be the marketing manager, you have to be the salesperson, you have to be the front desk, you have to be the finance department and collect the money or deal with the insurance if you're going down that road. And yes, you have to be the janitor. Like, does this sound familiar? You have to wear all the hats. And here's the saddest and the hardest part. No one trained you for any of this. Did you learn any of this in school?
Nope.
Nope. Kind of just scroll on through that to closing down. So here's a hard truth, y'all. Keep going to the slide closing down because I think I'm just talking. If you can't stay in business, if you can't keep your doors open and your lights on, how are you going to help anybody? What is compassionate about being broke? What's aligned about burnout? If you can't pay your rent, maybe not just the rent on your clinic, but the rent or the mortgage on your house. If you have to quit your practice because you can't survive and you have to go work at Starbucks, who are you helping? Ultimately, you simply cannot be of service if you cannot stay in the game. You can't heal the world. You can't heal your community if you're scraping by every month. So please, y'all, let's start calling this martyrdom that we as a collective seem to embrace. Let's stop calling this virtue because it's not. It's not virtuous at all. So, the real reason most acupuncturists fail Y'all, it's not because they're bad at acupuncture. We already said you learned what you needed to learn. It's not because they're bad at acupuncture. It's because they were never shown how to succeed in business. This is a system failure. This is not a personal failure. And that distinction really matters because it means that you are not broken. You've just been missing the tools. So let's talk about the first tool. Ditch the victim mindset. Man, can you scroll ahead?
Yep.
Ditch the victim mindset. Um, yeah, it sucks that you were not better prepared. Yeah, it does. It sucks. But stop wallowing in all the unfairness of it all. The fact is, these are the cards that you and I and every acupuncturist out there were dealt, and you have exactly two choices. Number one, you can continue to cry over spilt milk. Or number two, all of you boys and girls out there watching tonight, you can put on your big girl panties and get to work. And you can figure out what you don't know and you can learn it. You can stop crying, stop playing the victim, and get to work. Ditch that victim mindset. So, assignment number one is you have to start tracking your stats. You cannot determine where you're going if you don't know where you're starting so that you can see how you progress. Okay? Just track the most basic numbers. Who here tracks your stats? Let me get closer so I can see your answers. Does anyone here track stats every week, every day, every month?
We have a very quiet crowd
Very
tonight.
quiet crowd, yeah. Men, I know you know exactly how much money you have taken in the however many days you have worked in August. It is August the 6th. Well, you've been on vacation, so that might be a big fat zero.
Yes. But I also know, well, no, that's not true because I get my staffs updated, who's calling, where they're calling, who my marketing sources. I know all that because my staff is doing it right now on the phone and
Okay.
a spreadsheet.
Yeah. But yeah, we could ask any of our mentoring clients, what are their numbers right now? What you own? And they could tell us what they closed so far for this month and how many consults they've got on the books for next week. And like they just know these numbers. So assignment number one tonight, take away from this that you are going to start tracking your stats. Let's just start with the most basic number, your gross revenue. Okay, someone's out there's bristling. Well, the gross doesn't matter. It's about the net. Y'all, the net is fudgy. It's soft. It's fungible. Like, okay, I decided to buy a new Hummer EV. My net just kind of went down because I made a choice. All right. Um, So let's track the gross so that we're tracking apples to apples over the course of time because we will make different choices based on what our needs are in July of 2025 versus July of 2024 versus July of 2023 or future 2026. So we're going to track the gross. So track your most basic numbers. What's your gross revenue? Keep that for every single month. Keep that for every single quarter. Keep that for every single year. How much money did I take in today? How much money have I taken in this week? How much money have I taken in this month? And what is my year-to-date revenue? And then you start to have data points and you can look back and see that, oh, we're always a little slow in July. I shouldn't be freaking out. Or better yet, you can say, oh, July is coming. We've historically been slow. How do I prevent that this year? Ooh, that's really where it gets fun, right? But it all starts here. Start tracking your stats. This is our baseline that we use to start to measure our growth. Okay? You can't fix what you don't face. And time again, we have people who come to shift who don't know anything about their numbers because they want to be an ostrich and stick their head in the sand because it's too scary. And that serves no one. No one. Okay. So track your stats. Your next assignment, I want you to set yourself a 90-day goal. And it needs to be something that feels uncomfortable. Almost, maybe it's impossible. It does need to be possible, but it needs to be a hard one. Why am I so specific about something hard? Anyone? When does growth happen? The biggest growth happens, excuse my puppy dog. The biggest growth happens in the uncomfortable, not the comfortable. That's when we shift. That's when we improve. That's when we have a metamorphosis. That's when we have a change. Does that make sense, y'all? So set yourself a 90-day goal. Maybe it's you're going to start marketing because probably many of you don't. Who here does marketing? Who here actively markets for new patients? And word of mouth is not, I do not call that marketing. That's as passive as it gets. Who here actively markets for new patients?
No one?
Let me ask it a different way. Has anyone here ever gone fishing? Raise your hand and keep it up if you've ever gone fishing. No one? Well, I'm going to keep talking. Someone raised their hand. I still can't see who. Okay, one person raised their hand out of all of you. So you've gone fishing. Oh, there it is, Jonathan. Jonathan, you've gone fishing. Jonathan, when you went fishing, did you put some kind of bait on your hook before you threw it in the water
Yes.
to draw the fish to you? Yeah, of course you did. So that is how marketing works. Think of marketing as you're going fishing. So if you're fit, I'm not a fisherman, but my nephews are, so it's kind of like a half-assed analogy for me. But like if I'm fishing for this kind of fish, I will use this kind of bait. I can't tell you what that bait is because I don't know. But if I'm shark fishing, I'm going to use a different kind of bait. And if I'm flounder fishing, I'm going to use a different kind of bait. And if I'm fishing for crappies in freshwater, I'm going to use yet a different kind of bait, right? Because the different bait speaks to the different fish. It's the same way with marketing. Dropping a hook in a pond or in the ocean is not going to catch a fish. That's the same thing as hanging out your shingle and saying open for business. Yeah, okay. So what? No one cares. Your friends and your closest family care a little bit, and that's it. So you have to figure out what the bait is. Yeah, first of all, you have to figure out what fish you're fishing for so that then you can determine the bait. But marketing is fishing. That's all it is. So perhaps since none of you do any marketing or you're not admitting to it, perhaps in the next 90 days, you figure out, hey, I'm going to do something to actively generate patience. And that might be uncomfortable because maybe you're, doing a talk and you don't like public speaking, or it might be uncomfortable because you're actually spending money on marketing, and that's a risk. But if you don't bet on yourself, no one else will either. Okay? So right here, right now, take a minute and jot down what your 90-day goal is. This is 3 months, August, September. So by November 1st, what is it that you hope to achieve? Anyone care to share?
No one. No one wants to share.
So,
Business plan. Good job. Jonathan wants to
excellent.
set up
Jonathan,
business.
how far into business are you? Are you a new grad? Are you 10 years in and just getting your act together? Like, do you mind telling us a little bit about yourself, sir? Employed 10 years looking to break out on your own? Is that a correct inference? Okay. Employed in an institution such as a hospital or the VA, or employed for another acupuncturist or chiro, or like what is your setup?
Huh?
Hospital system, family physician office. All right. Why are you wanting to leave that? Sounds kind of like a cushy gig, like what everyone else wants.
Everyone thinks it's the golden handcuff, but is it really?
Why are you wanting to leave that? If you care to share, I'm curious. Like I'm genuinely curious because that's what most people aspire to. Not paid at all for your acupuncture services. So you're working in a hospital system, family physician office, but not as an acupuncturist? Is that what you're saying? Oh, okay. So you're a family physician. So you're an MD.
Geo. Same,
Same, same.
same.
Are you kind of sick of health insurance dictating the practice of medicine for you?
Should we ask Cameron, can you allow Jonathan to chat? Maybe.
Jonathan, would you be willing for us to figure out how to turn on your audio so we can speak to you instead of the typing?
I feel like Jonathan might have more. Oh, there you go. You could unmute Jonathan. Welcome.
Hello.
Hey
Hi.
there. So yeah, what I was saying about acupuncturists rushing headlong into Medicare and into their doom, whereas MDs, DOs are looking to get out of the insurance model. Did that resonate with you?
Yeah, I mean it's a painful system.
It's a very painful system. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
you're not really paid for the work that you do or the work that you want to do. It's like, how much work can they get out of you with the least amount of enjoyment?
yeah. And how many patients do you have to crunch through in an hour?
Well, that part's not bad, but it's like the way that they dictate the salary is really strange. So,
Okay.
I actually had to split my time doing, time less pleasant things, to make up like a deficit for like total patients. Um, and sort of strange because yeah, like I'm getting paid nothing for acupuncture. So people that I treat that are not specifically like my patients, it's almost counts against me. So
Yeah, well, it
I,
sure does. It's your time that they're paying you for that's not generating any revenue for the business. It would definitely count against you from a business perspective. You're not a profitable employee at that point in time, yes?
the way they see it, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Um, yeah.
I mean, that's how we see it as an acupuncturist as well, and that's why we don't take insurance
So,
as a as an acupuncture owner. It doesn't make sense. We see it as well in others in this side as well. So,
how long have you been in the more traditional setting? How long have you been practicing?
10 years.
Okay.
It's great. Awesome.
Yeah, you said that. Excuse me. It went in one brain cell and out the other.
Hmm.
So, Jonathan, are you looking towards to changing the style of practice to be more cash practice in treating maybe DO medical in conjunction with acupuncture? Is that what you're looking for?
Yeah, I mean, my ultimate goal would probably be doing like 50-50 split between acupuncture and osteopathic treatment.
Okay. I think that's very, very doable. Where in the country are you located?
Lancaster, PA.
Okay. Good. Good, good, good. Are you on the rosters for shift?
Yep.
Wonderful. I can't wait to see you.
I know.
Yay. I can't wait to meet you in person. Good, good, good. Okay, and that's in what? 39, 40 days. It's upon us. It is upon us. Okay. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
So I want you to choose your final assignment is to choose one belief to break up with tonight. Pick one belief that you think is maybe holding you back a little bit. Historically, we've heard things like, I'm not good with money, my patients can't afford me, um, uh, I don't know how to run a business, I don't know anything about business, no one taught me this. Like, choose one limiting belief, write it down, and scratch it out because you gotta break up with that belief. Okay. So it's all of this stuff that we've talked about tonight and more. That's why we created AMP, our advanced mentoring program. We were just tired of watching skilled, soulful docs give up on themselves and leave the medicine defeated and broke and burnt out and just, there's no need. AMP is where acupuncturists, MDs, DOs finally learn to build a clinic that actually works. And I don't mean just works clinically, because you guys know what to do clinically, but works financially, works emotionally, in that you're not giving, giving, giving and pouring from an empty cup anymore, and works logistically in that you don't have to work 60, 80, 100 hours a week to afford to live. Um, so we want to show you what's possible. Over 10% of our mentoring clients now gross over $1 million annually. Seven figures. We call it the seven figure club. Our average full-time clinic in our program generates somewhere between 500 and 800K. And I want to very clearly specify that we consider 20 hours a week as full time. Why do I say that? Because we give so much of ourselves that trying to actually do this 40 hours a week, I can't imagine. So when we're saying full-time clinic, we mean 20 hours a week, 25 hours tops, okay? Um, Yeah, we have clinics that are treating with 150 to 200 patients a week without burning out. You heard me. These are not unicorn clinics. These are not unicorn practitioners. They're people who were once exactly like you. Only difference, they got the mentorship and the tools to build something that is sustainable and that lasts. Um, yeah, I said they do it in under 20 hours a week. Um, this isn't a hustle culture. We are all about efficiency and efficacy and sustainable and fabulous results for our patients. This is a smart strategy. It's clear boundaries. It's efficient systems. Um, our docs are not just successful, they're fulfilled, they're confident, and they're finally living the life that they thought acupuncture school would give them, and then they were woefully disappointed. But they're finally living that life and more. Uh, Most of them, it's more than they ever imagined. So, um, this isn't luck. This isn't just work harder. This is actually a proven framework that we have implemented too many times to count, time and time and time again, that helps docs build clinics that scale, design systems that actually support their life. And we actually start with this at Shift when we sit and hold your hand and help you design the life that you want to lead, and then figure out and work backwards to how that actually looks. We help people step into their leadership with confidence, because you actually do have to be the CEO slash leader, especially in the early years until you hire you a CEO. Okay. We don't just fix your marketing or help you implement for the first time. We help you heal your relationship with business itself. It's not a bad word. It's not this negative thing. It's just a fact, right? You have to stop treating your clinic like a nonprofit. We talked about this in a recent episode. You have to start treating it like the calling that it truly is, and everything changes. So here's the kicker. Um, we invite you to be the statistic who broke the mold. Hit six figures, 0 to 6 figures in 6 months. Why not? It's definitely possible. All right. Um, you went to school to help people, help more people than you ever thought, help 100 people a week without burning out. We leave our clinic energized. Like, I literally leave high at the end of the day, just high on all of the love and all of the miracles that happen. By the way, the end of the day for me is 1 o'clock. Uh, and be the person who makes more in 20 hours than most do in 60. Okay. Um, if you're going to be a statistic, next slide, Min. If you're going to be a statistic, be a damn good one. You didn't go to school to become a statistic, but if you're going to be one, be a good one. All right? Be the statistic who hits 6 figures in 6 months, who treats more patients than they ever thought possible, who does all this in what most people would call part-time hours, 20-ish hours. Be the one who breaks the mold. Be the one who turns the whole system upside down. Be the one who finally proves it can be done differently. We're out here showing you every day it can be done differently. And y'all, it all starts with Shift. That's where it all starts. And your next opportunity, and Jonathan will be there, is September 13th and 14th, right here in North Myrtle Beach at the Matoy Management Center of Excellence, right around the literally down the hall from my clinic. So yeah, it's right around the corner. It's in 39 or 40 days. I have lost count now, but can't wait to see you guys there.
You have any
A very
questions?
quiet group.
I know.
You made our job hard tonight, but I'm very pleased I did not lose power, because it is cracking out there, y'all.
Okay. Well, we will see you in
Oh,
September.
someone raised a hand. Tracy,
Okay.
did you have a question? If you do, put it in the chat.
Webinar chat.
All right. Well, y'all, thank you so much for joining us tonight, and we look forward to see you in September. Tracy, what's the price? I'm not sure. Someone else does that for us. Do we have any of our Rebecca? Are you on here? Can you tell us the price? Rebecca is joining us from a
Rebecca
car
doesn't count.
while she is on her way. Tell you what, we will have you an email out tomorrow with the price in it. Okay. And actually, if you scan this QR code, it'll take you to the price. But we'll have you an email out tomorrow with the price and a little probably a little discount code for joining us tonight. Okay. No, there are no CEUs for this lecture tonight, but there are CEUs for shift.
Mm-hmm.
NCC AOM CEUs for shift, and I am unclear on California CEUs. Min, did we ever get that organized?
No, there is no California CUs, just NCCA1.
Yeah, just NCC AOM for shift.
Yes.
California is very difficult to work with, y'all.
Yep.
And as this is a business seminar, not a motor points seminar, they don't want to give us some credits for all of the hours that we do. Okay. Robert Dwayne was Robert Dwayne. I'm not sure who you're talking about there. My influence was my father. Min and I both come from entrepreneurial families, and we have applied all the business knowledge that we gained growing up running our family's businesses to our acupuncture practices. So, um,
Tanya's been working for 25 years and I think I hit my 25 or more. So we've been
yeah.
in this.
But no, I've been running a business for 40 years.
Right.
So my influence in that realm was 150% my dad. Unlike you guys, I was raised to be a CEO, and that started from the time I was about 7, 8 years old. Those were the conversations that we would have at the dinner table. So, um, yeah.
But our influences are not from the acupuncture world, unfortunately.
Is this guy an acupuncturist?
I think maybe she's talking about Doan. I don't know.
Oh, he's a piece of work.
No, he's not
Absolutely
our.
not. If that's who you're talking about, absolutely not. Have you ever read that man's reviews?
Let's not
He's a
talk about
he's
it
a
now.
shyster.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, he's a used car salesman at best. So, yeah. Anyway, if that is all, all righty.
Okay. We'll
We'll
see
see you
you guys
again
in
soon.
September.
Bye-bye.